Focus. How do we keep it? How do we keep motivation both in fitness and health goals, in business, in life, in relationships? Well, that's a big thing to ask. I dive into it into my book, The One Day Body Upgrade, but essentially focus is something where we have to break it down. In order to keep focus up, we need to break it down. So the first thing for focus, for me personally, is having goals. Goals that you can achieve, goals that are hard to achieve. Now, the first thing with goals that I like to look into is why we're doing it. Why do you want to reach this goal? Why do you want to run a marathon? Why do you want to earn £1 million? Why do you want to be at the top of your game in a certain aspect? Whatever your discipline is, whether it's running, cycling, swimming, bodybuilding, whether it's going up in business or anything like this, why do you want to do it? For me, when I was going through the bodybuilding world, my why was not for me. That's why it didn't last. I'd done 7 shows, but I was bored shitless of it. My why when it comes to working with the business guys for the Revitalised Man program, if you know me and you've looked at some of my other videos, you will know my why is that if I can stop at least one child having to go through what I went through, from my dad dying when I was 15 years old, then that's my why. I don't want no child to have to go through that because their parent is trying to provide for them, is trying to earn money to bring them up, rather than giving them the most valuable asset we all have, time. So your why, that's the thing you can always flick back on to help motivate you, to keep that motivation up. When you think, oh, I've had a shit day. Why? Well, what is your why? Not why you've had a shit day, but why are you doing this? That allows you to flick back on. If it is the truth, if that's the real reason you were doing something, then chances are most of your days won't be low. There are going to be some days when inevitably you are low. It's called being human. If someone is online, you get a lot of it in the fitness industry. Oh, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great, I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm awesome. No, not every single day. That doesn't happen every single day. It's not real. Like, you have highs, you have lows. If you didn't have those, the highs would not be as good to enjoy. So, finding your why will help motivate you. Another thing with your goals is to have a deadline. Now, with deadlines, we need to make sure that they are going to be, well, they're going to be hard to achieve, but you're going to be able to achieve them. No one wants to go through and miss a deadline. No one wants to go through and fail on their goals. Now, yeah, some people will argue that certain things are mistakes, and I don't believe in a mistake. When someone is filming a film, they're never going to go through without doing a second take. It is a mistake. They go through and do it again, and they try harder, and eventually they get it right. So there's no such thing as a mistake. If you do miss your deadline, although you don't want it to miss it, it's just a mistake. You do it again. But deadlines are there to put a bit of pressure on us. A lot of us work better under deadlines. I guarantee that if someone is obese and they think, oh, I'm healthy, I guarantee if someone is obese, they're told they have 6 months to live because they're overweight, they'll do something about it. Well, 90% of people will. Because they don't want that, and they need to have that pain. So having that deadline makes them do something about it. The other thing with your goals is, like, we have this big goal. Like, I've got this picture here going towards base camp. I'm going to get there by the time I'm 40. By the time I'm 50, I'll have climbed Everest. But you need to break that massive goal down into smaller goals. So if your goal is to earn a certain amount of money, how much do you need to earn per year? How much do you need to earn per week, per day, per hour in order to get there? With your fitness goals, if you're trying to drop 20, 30 kilos, yes, that can be done. I dropped 20 kilos last year. When I was like 22, 23, I dropped whatever 6 stone is in kilos. So it is able to be done. But breaking it down makes it a lot more achievable. So if you drop, say, 2 kilos a week, every week, then of the year, then you're going to be losing 100 kilos. You've got to be pretty big in order to be losing that and still be able to be seen and not turn into Ant-Man. So you see what I mean there? If you wanted to drop 20 kilos and you give yourself 6-7 weeks to do it, and it could be quite hard. But if you say 1 to 2 kilos every week, not only are you able to live your life, but you're able to get this goal into smaller increments and achieve it. Something that Jamie Alderton said the other day actually resonated with me, talking about people wanting to read books. Like, I'm gonna read 30 books a year. Okay, so how does that work? You end up, you procrastinate, you worry about it, and then you're like, well, I've not read any. So, if you read 1 chapter of a book per day, so 15, 20, 25 minutes, depending on how fast you read, then chances are, if you were saying like the average book, 10 chapters, 15 chapters, you probably read about, what, 30, 35 books a year without even realising it. It soon adds up, just by having that 15, 20 minutes. What else with goals? Well, beliefs. Beliefs are a massive thing. And I was speaking to someone a few weeks ago. He used to jump out of the plane before like the front lines. Who'd be the first person in the military to go there really high, like thousands and thousands of feet, like the highest parachute jumps you would have. Now, he would be scared of that every time he had a jump. But that was based on the belief of what could go wrong. If you go through life and you don't know what others have told you could go wrong, then are you actually going to be scared? Like, if you were guaranteed that, if he was guaranteed every time his parachute was going to open, he's going to hit the floor and be completely safe, land in a safe spot, not in enemy territory, like, you wouldn't be scared because you know 100% that is right and that can happen. I believe we do need a little bit of fear just to push us forward. I like to be a little bit scared just to make me have a bit of a firework up my arse to move forward. But fear essentially is based on someone else's beliefs in the past being pushed onto you about what could go wrong. We go on an aeroplane and we think this aeroplane could crash. Now, that's someone telling us that could happen. We've seen it potentially in the news, but if you go on an aeroplane and you know 100% that that plane is going to take off, fly through the turbulence, land 100% safe, there's nothing to be scared of. Fear is just what we make up in our heads. False evidence or expectations appearing real. So fear is something where you break it down, like, and you can see the other people's beliefs. And a lot of people lose motivation because they're scared of getting to their goals because they are fearful of being someone that other people may think they are not, or other people may look wrongly at. So, motivation. Set your goals. Find your why. Break your goal down with a deadline and look into your beliefs and your fears. Another thing people do seem to get a little bit hooked up on. What if it doesn't work? What if it does not work? The thing I'm going to leave you with here is, what if it does work? Think about that one.